Hello everybody. It's been really quite a while since I did any machining on video, but I've got quite a straightforward little job that's come in that we can take a look at, and I should be able to get done in just a few minutes. So what we have on the bed of the mill here is one of a pair of Aston Martin DBS, and this is 1970s DBS rear calipers. And these have been off to Big Red to be rebuilt, and they've been zinc plated and yellow passivated. But what I didn't look at these before they got sent off, but these notches here are for the mechanical handbrake mechanism. So there's a pair of pieces that come out, get pulled by a cable to press the pads into the disc, which on the Aston, unlike the E-Type, which uses a very similar setup, is a vented disc. And in fact you can see that even the factory used spaces on the calipers to accommodate the vented disc. So these have got pins that go through, and you can see there's a hole here and there isn't a hole here. And I've got one already set up in the mill vise, and again the pin has been cut off flush with the caliper because clearly they couldn't get it out. So in order to get some handbrake calipers back on this thing, and the calipers were actually completely missing on this car because it's a race car, but it's going to get modified to a state where it can be driven on the street occasionally. So we need to get these out, and it's a fairly straightforward setup. So I've just got the caliper clamped in the mill vise with a couple of bits of hardboard. The faces of the caliper are in fact really quite flat, but obviously the hardboard accommodates for any variance. And all I've done is set it up with the right size drill bit and lined everything up so that we go in nice and cleanly. So that gets the vertical axis set, and in both X and Y, and I've got a adjustable parallel under the tail there just to give it a little bit of extra support, make it easier to set up. So having established that we're nice and vertical, I'll move over to this hole and centre up again with this drill bit, which is a 5/16, very close to 8mm, but this is of course all imperial, being a 1970s Aston Martin. And I'll centre up with this drill, then I'll probably swap in a spotting drill just to get something a little bit more rigid and spot the remains of that pin. So I'm just looking for any drill deflection. Okay, that's now entering nice and clean. Just because I can, I'll zero, but then lock the table and put in a spotting drill. Of course, what I've forgotten in all this was having moved or changed drill bits. I no longer have a depth to work to, but I think we're probably going to be okay going by feel. There will be a slight gap under the pin. fact, just for confidence. Well, that's one way to find the bottom of the hole. Torque the drill a little tighter. Just do that gently again. There we go. And that's job done. And we'll just repeat that on the second caliper.